All the steps in selection process, the unit 3 of principles of management subject is presented in this video. Selection process. What is selection process? Selection process is the choosing of an employee for a particular job. Selection is a process of choosing a most suitable employee for the job. So selection is a process in which unwanted people are eliminated. That is, it eliminates all unsuitable people. It involves process of examining and matching the qualities of an employee with the requirements of the job. Steps in the selection process. First one, preliminary screening of applications. Second one, preliminary interview. Then application blank. Then checking references. Then employment test or trade test. Then psychological test. Then employment interview. Then final approval, placement, and then induction. The steps in selection process is given in the chart. You should give in the form of a chart. It should be given. First one, preliminary screening of applications, preliminary interview, application blank, checking references, employment test, psychological test, employment interview, final approval or selection, placement, and induction. The first step in selection process is preliminary screening of applications. So the number of received applications are large. This step is very much essential. It has to be screened out because interviewing a large number of people will not be possible. So preliminary screening of applications is essential. So after receiving the applications are screened by personnel managers. A list of candidates is prepared to be called for the test and preliminary interviews prepared, and applications are screened on the basis of standards set by the organization. The second step in the selection process is preliminary interview. The preliminary interview is conducted before the main interview. Preliminary interview eliminates most of the people and it chooses only the selected people. In the preliminary interview, the sorting process in which interviewer eliminates those who do not meet the factors such as age, inexperience, or lack of training. Preliminary interview is conducted to get further information from the candidates and to know them in person. Preliminary interview is used to judge the overall personality of the candidates. The third step in the selection process is filling of application blank. An application blank is given to the employees and screened out, the sorted out employees in the preliminary interview process are asked to write the application blank. The application blank consists of name, father's name, age, address for communication, educational qualification, experience details, and extracurricular activities. The filling the application blank provides a good opportunity to those who feel uneasy in the interview but can write their answers without any hesitation. Then fourth step in the selection process is checking references. So people are asked to write 2 or more references in the application blank and the references are verified. The referee may be a very known person to the employee or he may be a past employer to that employee. So prospective employee is asked to give 2 or more references of known persons or previous employers. A referee is an important source of information to verify the suitability of the candidate, character and conduct, past history, skill and abilities for job. The fifth step in the selection process is employment test or trade test. The trade test is conducted to test the technical knowledge of the candidate. In case of jobs which require technical skills, a trade test is conducted to judge the capabilities of prospective candidates for job. So it is used to assess the technical knowledge of the candidate. The next step in the selection process is psychological test. The psychological test is a measurement of human behavior. There are 3 types of psychological tests. First one is intelligence test. Intelligence test is conducted to know the intelligence of the candidate. It is conducted to measure the mental ability, memory, reasoning, intelligence, speed of thought, ability to grasp, intelligence quotient, that is IQ level, etc. Second test is proficiency or aptitude test. It is conducted to know the aptitude of the candidate. It is conducted to judge the numerical ability of candidates and ability to learn new things. Personality test, it is conducted to measure the personality of the candidates. It is conducted to judge the emotional balance, maturity and temperament qualities of a candidate. Next step in the selection process is employment interview. This is a main interview. The employment interview is a face-to-face communication and involves a greater personal contact to judge his suitability for a job. The employment interview is an important tool in selecting a new employees. The main objective of employment interview is to collect details about the candidate which have been blocked by other stages. Interview is a dialogue between personnel managers and prospective employees to determine the suitability of a candidate for a job. Following are the types of employment interview. First one, structured interview. In structured interview, well-prepared questions are asked to the candidates. The interviewer asks a set of prepared questions. It avoids personal bias in the interview. In unstructured interview, the questions are not well planned in advance. Candidates have to prove their worth and ability by answering the questions. A semi-structured interview, it is a combination of structured interview and unstructured interview. It consists of a set of prepared questions as well as some unplanned questions. Fourth type of interview is stress interview. In this stress interview, questions which are very vague or questions which make the candidate stressful are asked. Some awkward questions are asked to candidates to test their ability of mind, stability of mind, willpower and resistance to stress. Then group interview. In most organizations, group interview is conducted to know the interpersonal skills of the candidates. In group interview, several candidates are asked to discuss a topic in a group. Group interview is conducted to judge the interpersonal communication skills, merit and leadership qualities of candidates. Depth interview. In some organizations, depth interview is conducted in-depth technical knowledge of the candidates. It is used to test the candidates' in-depth knowledge in a particular subject. Group interviewers ask many questions on the same subject to test his knowledge. The next step in the selection process is final approval. After completion of the interview and he may be approved, his approval, he will be selected for the particular job. The candidate successfully overcomes all the obstacles of the test given above, he or she will be declared selected. Appointment letter is issued to them mentioning the terms of appointment, pay scales, post for which selected. Then the next step is placement, and in this step the candidate is placed in a particular job. Placement is assignment of employees to the jobs for which they appear qualified on the basis of selection techniques. Placing the employee at the right job reduces labor turnover, eliminates wastages, increases productivity and improves job satisfaction. The last step in the controlling process is induction. Induction is a process of giving training to the employees and the process of introducing a new employee to the environment of business enterprise. And the employee should be informed about the history and achievement of the organization, diversified products, ethics, working environment, safety provisions and promotion schemes of the organization. These are all the steps in the selection process. Thank you.